guilty of involuntary manslaughter.
The convictions that made national headlines, raising new questions tonight.
Let's focus on what we can do to prevent this from happening again.
The impact the James and Jennifer Crumbley verdicts could have on parenting moving forward as the Oxford community gets a new measure of justice. As the jury foreman read the verdict in the James Crumbley trial, it soon became clear the ruling could have ranging implications for parents.
Here's a big question. Both juries ruled the parents were grossly negligent and had a legal duty to exercise reasonable care for their child.
And now prosecutors around the country looking at how this decision could impact other cases. Let's bring in Paula Tutman live for us tonight. The answers here not so cut and dry, Paula.
Yeah, not so much, because there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation. I was standing right here at this exact spot the day of that shooting. It was freezing. Up there you can see the school kids were being brought down to this parking lot to be reunited with parents, except for 4 sets of parents who did not, because they could not. And for them, there is continuing pain because of some fundamental misunderstandings about the legal purpose of this case. There's a difference between prosecuting bad parenting and prosecuting parents for criminal behavior. Megan Gregory, whose son Keegan was in the bathroom and watched the execution of Justin Schilling, wants everyone to understand that difference.
We all parent, we make good and bad choices in parenting. This is gross negligence.
Lillian Diallo is a defense attorney, vice president of the Wayne County Defense Bar, and president of the private practice firm Legal Warriors.
People want to conflate, oh, now it's a moratorium on parenting. No, you have always had to be responsible as parents.
While you could argue that James and Jennifer Crumbley were bad parents or inadequate parents in any way, it is not against the law to be a bad parent. But what the Oakland County prosecutors successfully proved was it is against the law to, 1, provide unfettered access of a gun to a 15-year-old, 2, not lock or secure that gun.
This is not a Second Amendment issue. This is a responsibility issue.
And 3, when presented with disturbing violent drawings by that 15-year-old, neglect to warn school officials by giving them the full picture that Ethan Crumbley had access to a gun, which would have likely informed changes in how everyone reacted to the facts in front of them during that school meeting. And that's the crux of the case.
Failure to perform a legal duty that you had. The legal duty is to protect other children and your child from harming themselves or other people.
Involuntary manslaughter involves the accidental killing of a person due to a negligent or reckless act. What Ethan committed was murder. It was by design and it was deliberate. What James and Jennifer Crumbley were found guilty of was contributing to that crime by the things they did or didn't do to secure that gun or heed warning signs from their son and or warn others.
Because these actions were so particular and so egregious, and there were so many signs leading up to this.
And the precedent the case sets is that it draws a map for other prosecutors, but in very specific ways.
Gross negligence is a theory under the law that you just ignored or chose to ignore every sign, every bell, every whistle. So this is not, I don't think, an indictment on parenting and how we parent. It's an indictment on irresponsibility.
Yeah, and it's that irresponsibility that you can bet prosecutors from around the country and legal scholars alike are looking at every single angle. And while they are looking at those kinds of aspects, let's remember these families, because this is not over for them yet. This will never be over for them. Coming up at 6, talk to one of those family members who lets us know how her son is doing. He is forever changed. Guys?
Paula, Karen McDonald made that point last night. There's no victory lap here because there's no bringing these kids back.
Absolutely. And what they're going through to survive this, you can call them survivors, but they're still surviving to be done. And it is heartbreaking.
Sure is. Sorry, Paula. By the way, here at 5:30, speaking of Karen McDonald, our Karen Drew is going to sit down with the Oakland County prosecutor for a one-on-one conversation.
And she'll be talking about key moments in the case and what these convictions could mean moving forward. Again, that's ahead at 5:30.
If you want to get caught up on everything that has happened through this trial, you can scan this QR code at the lower left of your screen. That'll take you to our special section on the Crumbley trial. You can also find a link to it right now on the homepage at clickondetroit.com.